I'm going to give you the secrets of atomic habits right here in this video. Stay tuned, like, follow, and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on the next video where we dive deep into what works for building solid habits, to crushing and increasing your sales targets, to making you the professional in your industry. Here's what I learned from Atomic Habits, one of the most brilliant books ever written. This will change your life if you listen, read, and apply this knowledge. Here's what James Clear talks about. In order to change anything in your life, you have to understand we, human beings, you and I, and everyone around us, we're creatures of habit. You may not know it, but there is a certain sequence that you do automatically every single day, from the moment you open your eyes to the moment you go to bed and shut your eyes again. There is a sequence that you do every single day. It's a pattern, it's repetition. It's so unconscious now because you've been doing it so long that you don't even realize. But here's the thing, that pattern is leading you to the life that you currently have. And the pattern that you have instilled and in place and installed right now is going to get you more of what you currently have. Ask yourself, in 10 years, if you have more of what you currently have times 10, is that good or is that bad? When I asked myself this question from reading this book, I looked and analyzed what my current habits were, what my situation was, and I saw nothing good. It took me this realization and this waking up to really understand how dramatic I need to change my life. See, we are products of our habit. We're creatures of repetition and patterns. In order to change anything, you need to change the pattern. That changes the habit. That changes your life. So, step one, what James Clear talks about, step one is to make sure you identify the patterns that you currently have programmed into your mind, into your life right now. Understand them. Become extremely conscious and mindful of them. Number two, all right, once you understand and become mindful, then you can start to change the habit. But you don't actually change the habit themselves. What you do is you change the trigger. You identify the trigger, change the response. Here's what you do in simple terms. For example, so say I wake up, I go brush my teeth, I take a shower. If I want to change that because I want to create a different outcome, I'm going to analyze, okay, when I wake up, the trigger is, oh, I smell my breath. It stinks. I gotta brush my teeth. That's the trigger, the initial smell. But the response then is to brush my teeth. And the outcome of that response is the habit. I get the pleasure, I get the joy, I get the dopamine hit from knowing that I'm clean and cleanly. So in order to change that, I'm not saying it's a bad outcome, it's a bad habit, it's a good habit. You should brush your teeth if you don't, you nasty. Gosh, brush your teeth. But make sure that you become aware of the triggers. What triggers the response? Ask yourself this question. What triggers the response of the habit that I do, right? If you look at pornography, what triggers that response? What's the trigger? What triggers your response to want to do that? If you drink alcohol, what triggers you to want to do that? What makes you feel like you need to do it? Get a drink. If you smoke cigarettes, what triggers you to make you want to do that? Do you understand where I'm going at? The habit itself is not the action, it's the trigger. And then the action is the response to that trigger. So in order to change the response, we need to identify the trigger, change how we assess and analyze and move forward from that trigger. Going back to my waking up, brushing my teeth in the morning, I wake up, I smell my breath, but instead of thinking, oh, I need to brush my teeth, I think, okay, what's one thing that I can do right now that's going to benefit me to stay clean so I get my ultimate goal, but maybe saves time or speeds time up a little bit? Okay, how can I brush my teeth in the shower, right? Throwing out ideas. But most importantly, guys, if you want to change your life, you don't change the habit. The habit is something that is instilled in you. You change the reaction from the trigger. Okay? So you have to identify what triggers the response, and then you can start to grab hold of your life. You can grab your life by the throat and you can change it. That's important, guys. So important. Change your life, identify the trigger, change the response, and you will get a different outcome every single time.